Hey team, I'm Josh. In this video I'll run you through the differences between 5 of the top Dolby Atmos soundbars, from everyday usability to music and movie performance, so you can figure out which one's right for you. I've covered all of these soundbars in length, so if you want more information I'll leave links to those videos in the description. Let's get to it. The 5 soundbars are JBL 9.1, Bose 900, Sonos ARC, Samsung Q950A, and LG SP11RA. The JBL 9.1 retails for $1,200 and comes with a main bar, 10-inch downward firing sub, and 2 detachable rear speakers. Altogether it operates as a 5.1.4 channel system. Bose is made up of 3 separate components. You have the Bose Soundbar 900, priced at $900, Bass Module 700 for $800, and Surround 700 for $549, which comes to a total of $2,249 and gives you a 5.1.2 channel system. Sonos is also 3 components, made up of the Sonos ARC at $900, Gen 3 sub for $749, and a pair of Sonos One SLs for $400. This totals $2,049 and also is a 5.1.2 channel system. Samsung Q950A is $1,798, which includes the main bar, side-firing sub, and 2 rear speakers to make an 11.1.4 channel system. The LG SP11RA is $1,697 for a very large main bar, subwoofer, and sizable rear speakers, adding up to a 7.1.4 channel system. Sonos and Bose keep their products current over many years and hardly ever go on sale. On the flip side, JBL, Samsung and LG do yearly updates to their systems and prices fluctuate heavily, so check the links in the video description for up-to-date pricing. In regards to the inputs, all 5 soundbars have provisions for HDMI ARC, which is critical to getting Dolby Atmos from your TV. They also include an optical port, or in Sonos' case, an optical adapter for older TVs. JBL has a single HDMI in, and Samsung and LG stepped it up to 2. Unfortunately, Sonos and Bose don't have any HDMI in ports. JBL and LG both have a USB for audio playback, whereas Samsung and Bose have them for just servicing. JBL, Bose and Sonos have Ethernet provisions, otherwise all these soundbars can connect to your internet wirelessly. On the front, JBL and LG have very nice large LED screens to give you information about the input selected or settings you may need to change. JBL has theirs turn off after 5 seconds of inactivity, but the LGs will dim and then keep showing you the current source. For some of you that may be a pro and others a con. Samsung has a top screen for the same info and a few LEDs on the front for letting you know it's turning on or changing volume. Both Bose and Sonos just have a simple LED on the front for signal confirmation. JBL's standout feature is that the rear speakers operate on an internal battery and will last around 10 hours. Otherwise can be plugged back into the main bar to add extra drivers to the front. A very clever design that gives you placement flexibility, but can be also kept in the back full time and run off mains power through a USB cable. Bose and Sonos are equally the best looking in my opinion, and are much more than just a soundbar, with their multi-room audio capabilities and upgradable systems. Samsung has tried to squeeze drivers into every part of his soundbar, including 3 in each of the rear speakers, whereas LG is by far the widest and will need a large cabinet to support it. Wall mounting is an option for all of these bars. JBL, Samsung and LG come with the brackets required, whereas Sonos and Bose are an extra purchase. If you're going to mount them, make sure you've reinforced the wall with timber due to the size and weight. I wouldn't suggest mounting them to the TV bracket as they're very heavy and they need space above them for the Atmos speakers to work. All of them have physical remotes except Sonos, which relies entirely on the S2 app. JBL, Bose, Samsung and LG all have similar remotes that allow for control over soundbar power, volume, mute and source change. The Bose also has preset buttons, so you can set this up on the app to play specific music playlists or internet radio stations. Check out my Bose video for more info on that. Samsung uses its remote to change most of the sound settings, and you'll adjust all the channel levels through the top screen on the bar. LG is similar in that you can modify the equalizer, but other than that you do everything else through the app. All of them have AirPlay compatibility, which means for Apple users you can group other AirPlay enabled devices with these soundbars. JBL, Samsung and LG currently have Chromecast built in, with Bose adding this feature very soon, which is great news for Android users. Alexa is an interesting one. Sonos, Bose, and Samsung all have it built in, and LG will work with it, but require another Alexa-enabled device to listen to your voice. When doing your research, if it says works with, this means you'll need an external device, and if it says built in, then this can be done with the speaker's microphone. Same thing with Google Assistant. Samsung and LG will work with it and can be controlled within the Google Home app to be grouped with other devices. Sonos and Bose use their built-in microphones, but this is only available in certain countries. Again, I'll leave links below to their respective articles. And finally, all of these soundbars have Bluetooth connectivity except for Sonos. This is by far the biggest video I've undertaken, and I've spent many hours testing all of these soundbars. If you're finding this valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you click the like button so this can spread to more people. Thanks. When it comes to interacting with these soundbars, all of them except JBL have a companion app that allows you to change a variety of settings. Sonos and Bose are the most polished, and they bring their Apple-like design to both iOS and Android devices. All the apps have the basic controls for changing volume, source, powering the soundbar on or off, and adjusting the EQ. On top of that, you can start their individual auto-tuning, which walks you through the process. I really like how LG allows you to individually adjust each channel level within the app, and would really like the other brands to implement that within theirs, even if they did it under an advanced audio tab. Sonos and Bose are super clean and let you interact with their other speakers when incorporating a multi-room system. JBL struggled with detailed music, and I found the sub to be a little overpowering for vocals in certain songs. Since you can't change any EQ settings, the only way to make this better is turning down the sub and bringing up the overall volume of the soundbar. Full-bodied music, on the other hand, sounded great. Skyfall by Adele was one of the songs I used, and this bar gave it plenty of low end, but still did the vocals justice. JBL is known for making great portable speakers that can be used at a party or by the poolside, and this soundbar fits perfectly into that categorization. If you want a bar that can pump out music really loud and fill a room, then this is a great option. In my review, I found the Bose to be very well balanced between vocals and music, but when putting it up against the other soundbars, there were moments that the high frequencies came across harsh. The rest of the range was well represented and the low end sounded great, although not as deep as Sonos' sub. If you don't mind playing around with the sound, then this soundbar can definitely be changed to your taste, but at higher volumes for treble heavy songs, it was a little painful to listen to at times. Now the Sonos is what I use on a daily basis, so I'm used to its sound profile, and for that reason I got my father-in-law to be a part of the testing. Sonos was his favourite for music. He found it to control the highs and lows really well, which many of the others couldn't. It's one of those speakers that you could put on a favourite album and listen to it for hours without being fatigued. Vocals were clear, and it gave the best spatial presence when listening to Apple Music through AirPlay. The sub was legendary, and able to produce the lowest frequency, but also didn't lose control when playing at higher volumes. The Samsung was really well rounded. Vocals were clear, and after turning up the center channel a few notches, it overall produced a pleasing sound. The sub at times struggled to control its output at higher volumes, but still did most music justice. Spatial sound was fine and on par with other bars. The LG is definitely more treble leaning, which for some of you may be what you're after. The sub filled in the low ranges enough, but wasn't that impressive for its size. There was a fair sense of spaciousness, and that comes from being a super wide bar. Having it in the right sound preset is critical to getting a good sound. AI Sound Pro was the best for music, and cinema mode was ideal for movies. So if you don't mind having to tweak these settings each time you change between the two, then you can make it work. For vocal heavy music, this bar does a good enough job, but if you want it as a party speaker or enjoy deep bass, then I'd give the LG a miss. Movies are a bit different. JBL sounds awesome for action movies, as explosions hit hard and tend to shake the room. Dialogue wasn't as clear when compared with the rest, and the lack of customizability, there's not much you can do to change that. The surrounds, on the other hand, added to the whole experience, and being able to place the rear speakers where I wanted without having to run cables was so good. Bose can be a little harsh at times, but dialogue was the best. We watched a scene from Logan where Laura opens a can, and I found the sound effect was most clearly heard from the Bose over the other bars. The bass was deep and punchy, but not as tight and controlled as the Sonos sub. Overall though, was a pleasure to watch a variety of movies with. Sonos is a class act for most genres and does super well with dialogue, especially when speech enhancement is turned on. The sub is by far the best, and now is producing most frequencies thrown at it, even at loud volumes. The implementation of a limiter is spot on, so if it can't reproduce the frequency at the extremes, it'll bring it to within range so it's clean. I didn't find any harshness to the upper end, and the surround sound was next level. Samsung is a solid option for movies, and again, dialogue is great when bumping up the center channel. The rears are large and give you great clear surround sound. Being able to change each individual channel helps with this too, and you can tweak it far more than the rest. In my full review, I wasn't a fan of the LG, but 6 months later with some more testing in a different unit, I've come to enjoy it a little more. I still find it to have a harsh top end, but I really enjoyed the expansiveness of sound that comes with having a wide bar. Dialogue was clear, but the sub just lacked in many occasions. The surrounds were good, but not as impressive as the others. For a lot of people who don't care too much about bass, this bar would suit them just fine. All of these soundbars did an excellent job when playing back Atmos content in my room, and I really couldn't tell them apart. The biggest difference is made when using their auto-tuning. The Sonos and Bose made the biggest difference as they both use microphones separate from the bar, so it can listen to your room's acoustics from your seating position. If you have a room similar to mine, where it's more or less a rectangle with a standard ceiling height and walls on both sides, then any of these bars will produce Atmos content adequately. If you have an oddly shaped room, then that's when Sonos and Bose will pull it off better. All 5 bars give you options to change the Atmos height channels to regulate how much of an effect you want. Now here's a sound test to give you an idea of what they sound like.
I did what I had to do. I pled guilty.
Bullshit. You didn't plead anything.
Harvey, look at me. It was my crime, it was my choice to make, and I made it. It's done.
Well, I'm gonna unmake it, because the judge hasn't ratified it yet. Until she does, nothing's done.
Harvey, stop.
No, you listen to me. If you think I'm gonna let you do this, you're out of your goddamn mind.
Do what, Mike? What did you do?
I took the 2 years.
No, you didn't. I don't accept that.
Please, listen, it was the only way that I could.
No, it wasn't the only way. You told me that you'd wait for the verdict, and I begged you to have faith in yourself, and you told
That
me
was
that you
before
would.
I begged Diaz to take a deal that would rat out his friend, and he didn't listen to me.
Wait a second, you're throwing away the next 2 years of our lives for something that some criminal said?
Stop, listen to me.
Hold on. Harvey said he wasn't gonna let this happen. He went to go see the judge, didn't he?
It doesn't matter. He can't stop it.
Why not?
Because it's not up to him, it's up to me, and I've made my decision.
So where does that leave us? JBL is by far the cheapest and is heavily weighted towards movies. It gives you the flexibility of placing the rear speakers where you want to suit your space, which makes it great for renters. If you want to buy a soundbar, set it up quickly, and not have to play around with the settings to get it sounding good, then the JBL is a great option. Bose comes in a smaller package, but still gives big sound when needed. I see it as a great soundbar for apartment living, especially when you don't want to add the sub, but still get great performance. You can really get it to sound how you want after a few settings changes through their well-designed app. Sonos, in my opinion, gives the best sound for music and movies, but it also comes with a hefty price tag. It's very Apple-leaning, but still gives Android users basic functionality through the S2 app for Android. If you want the best performance out of these soundbars or after a whole home audio system, then the Sonos ARC fits the bill. Samsung is the most customizable system and is my favorite out-of-the-box solution. The spatial performance is top-notch and works super well when paired with the Samsung TV. LG works well when playing detailed sounds and is more treble-leaning than the rest. It works well when paired with large LG TVs, and the app allows for plenty of setting changes. With that, I create videos testing out the latest soundbars and showing you how to use them, so if you'd like to be reminded when my videos come out, then please subscribe and click the notification bell. That's all from me. See you guys soon.